the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have the secret sails that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labart. I cremated Sam McGee. Now Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. Though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. Day, we were marching our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold through the Parker's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close and the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and our dogs were fed and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and cat says he, I'll cash in this trip I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Well, it seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of moan, it's a cursed cold and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet ain't being dead, it's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair you'll cremate my last remains. A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. Wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried horror-driven with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true and it's up to you to cremate those last remains. Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I curse I load. In the long, long night, by the low firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathe the thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and I hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice and I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then here said I with a sudden cry, is the crematorium. and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about. Here again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked and it's time I looked, and the door I opened wide, and there sat Sam looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile, you could see a mile, and he said, please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men boiled for gold. The Arctic trails have the secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge. I cremated Sam McGee. The summer is past, but your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing stronger. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Goodness, how did it get so late? Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and just let your mind flow downstream. Sprawled out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream. Joehills is filmed before a live streaming audience.
That's us! Howdy, y'all. Joehills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and tonight y'all are my live streaming audience. Welcome, Darth Vorthen, Matt Limbago, Friendless Photon, Custard, Nutmeg Soup, Coyote Lovely, Free Toy 911, Aru, Proto Fox, Pepper Basenji, Sparrowwood, Aiden Moore, Iron Tricky, Mad Creepa, Sam and Vix, Iconic Anemone, and Mad Enzo, and Michael Gaby in the YouTube chat. Over in the Twitch chat, we've got Strine Life, Twy Charlie, Ion Face, Anonymous, Thingamabob Mick, Dark Oak Ghost, Bob, Chiba Plays Games, Chicken Bow Y, Extrema 88, Trio Salad, Okie Dokie Chris Koki, Stephanie Hall, Yazzie Wolf, Rock Bay, Daily Rooster, Truly Seasonal, Steak Outlaw, Bob, Graysky, Tea Lover, Unbuckled Spaghetti, Kindleless, The Grumpy Bunny, as well as Vubo1, and Big Papa House, 20 International Baccalaureate Jurosic, Zara, Realms Gamer, welcome, Pretty Witchery, Glorf, welcome. A lot of people think Glorf is an unfortunate name, but I know it's a Tress of the Emerald Sea reference. Welcome, Kavivdra. Welcome, Jonas or Smith. Welcome, Mantua Maker and Lakshmi13 in the Discord chat. A lot of people here. A lot of people here. A lot of people. That's us. Indeed, indeed. Welcome, one and all, to an evening of video production. I don't know if y'all remember back in the old days of Family Matters and Full House, them Miller Boyette productions. That's right, like Step by Step or Perfect Strangers. They would say something like, Perfect Strangers is filmed before a live studio audience. Well, this show is filmed before a live streaming audience. And not only is it filmed before a live streaming audience, but we also actually do some of the post-production work as well. We do some of the voiceover, we do some of the other bits. It is a whole thing. We're going to be doing a little bit of that tonight, but we're not there yet. Let's see. Mantua Maker, congratulations on your adoption day. Ooh, glad you could join us for that. Cami Marie says, laugh tracks, love those. Yeah. Chibi plays games says, dude, TGIF Fridays on ABC were a way of life. TGIF! I know, right? We used to watch that. My dad used to work nights. And so my mom would let us stay up late on Friday and keep her company, since my dad was at work anyway, and watch TGIF with her. So, yeah, we watched all those shows. You know, I'm not going to say that I could draw a perfect Urkel, but did I do that? I mean, I haven't practiced that for 15, 25 years, but I feel like that was close. Yep. We didn't have Totino's Pizza back then. We had Elio's Pizza back then. Detroit-style frozen pizza. That's how you know you're living large. Okay. Let's see. Is the tool person still over here? Maybe not. Tool villager. Villaging me some tools, tool villager. How was St. Patrick's Day in Nashville? It was really fun. We went to a St. Patrick's Day event at our local arcade. They were having a bunch of artists come out and showcase their stuff. And they also had live music after, or, well, it might have been DJ sets, but that was after we left. We couldn't stay long enough because we had to get back for my stream day. So, you know, I was looking at this here, and you know what I noticed? I feel like this field hasn't quite encroached enough. So, alrighty. You know, we're going to turn the face camera off. We're going to do a quick recording segment. Start recording. HermitCraft Season 10, Episode 11, possibly. Segment Letter Unknown. Take 1. And action. It's been a couple days since I dropped off this stone for Etho. He has apparently taken the time to build his own secondary glass shop back here, but not taken the time to collect this stone or pay me the 110 diamonds I owed. So, you know, I don't want to hassle the guy. He's busy. But, you know, just to make sure he realizes that, like, time is passing. I feel like showing the inexorable creep of agriculture here is going to be kind of a stronger message than anything I could send on Discord. We're just going to have some crops kind of slowly creeping out this way. Little bit of crop creep. Oh, yeah, there's no water on these, so I've actually got to fill them. Okay, you know what? This seems like a perfect job for the offhand. Hold on. There it is. That's how you plant crops without water. Look at that. We're getting it done. You know, he'll be able to come by here and see that these are newly planted and growing incredibly slowly on this dry, parched ground. And, you know, that'll tell him, like, hey, wow, some time has passed. Especially if these things are huge by the time he gets back here. You know, he's going to definitely be feeling the weight of the burden of an unpaid debt over time. It's important that you not hassle people that owe you money. You know? You start getting stressed out about something like that. No, take a break. Go garden instead. That's what I'm doing. It's working out great. Look at how relaxed I am. I actually am not stressed out about this at all. I'm sure Etho's going to pay me back. But, you know, he's basically getting rid of this whole build anyway in favor of his new Frogger bit for the frog lights and the new weird sci-fi glass thing he's got going on back there. So, I feel like this is funny. Other people on the server are going to wonder what's going on here, and it'll make as much sense as anything else on the server. That's the best we could hope for, really. So we're just going to toss some more of this here. Luckily, the fields over here actually produce a lot of wheat seeds, more than the ecosystem can absorb. I've been feeding them into composters, but this feels, you know, more productive. Okay. We're going to kind of do a soft cut here while I'm kind of filling this out a little bit here. Dun, 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 dun. The wheat fields yearn for the shops, I always say. Yeah, apparently I saw Etho's latest video. He's apparently broke. So I was happy to let him pay me after he sold this stuff, but he wanted to keep it simple. So he proposed paying me when I delivered it, and then did not have the ability to do that. I was thinking I might, since he owes me about 110 diamonds, I was thinking about maybe, hear me out on this. Do you think it would be fair for me to say, well, hey, Etho, I'll give you a break on 35 of those if you let me playtest your Frogger game? Is that a thing? Yeah, no, it's not just you, Hypno. Rex Verdi and Tyranthosaurus, thank you, Tyranthosaurus, for the raid. Welcome, Rex. Welcome, Tio Poyo, JD Lady. Glad to see folks coming in. Love that Shadow Council PAX vibe. Tyranthosaurus is a most excellent member of the Shadow Council. I was fortunate to crash in his hotel room at PAX Unplugged, so thank you again, Tyranthosaurus. That trip would not have been possible without you generously letting me sleep on your floor. I mean, I did pay my share of the room, but, like, seriously, PAX is expensive, you guys. Being a successful YouTuber means that I get to sleep on the floor of cities that I would otherwise have been unable to visit. Not that I can afford my own hotel room. Yeah, we brought Etho 55 shulkers of stone here. As well as cobblestone. What about unlimited frog lights or glass? Well, the thing is, I already own a glass shop, and I have all sorts of sand coming in. And I mean, I kind of want to just test the Frogger game. Ion Face says he probably wasn't expecting 50 shulkers. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I told him I had a lot. He gave me 54 shulkers, and I filled 55 just so I could finish the last O in Ethuwu. Tio Poyo says, why pay when he's probably glad to have a beta tester for free? I am sure that every hermit wants to beta test this game. People are always curious about what Etho's working on. It's a big draw. Aru says that might be a fair deal. Maybe also access to some frog lights. Well, the thing is, the game would have frog lights as a prize. So I would say during the playtesting, whatever frog lights you think I earned, I would get to keep as a way of helping calibrate the scoring. Maybe. I don't want to. The thing is, I don't need frog lights for anything right now. So I feel awkward being like, yeah, give me 8 stacks of something I don't need, right? That's not helpful. But, like, if it's part of the scoring of the game that he's going to be giving away frog lights. There we go. Yeah, this is looking better. All right, so we've got that. All right. We have planted the seeds that will demonstrate the passage of time. So now, we just need to go get some other work done. Time skip. Okay. So we're going to stop the recording there. I'm going to only use parts of that anyway. There was some, like a soft cut in the middle when I was talking to you guys. But yeah. This is looking good. Next problem. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, I offered this because he seemed like he was stressed out by the idea of doing accounting in the long term. But yeah, I wasn't, like, demanding the diamonds up front. He just didn't like the complicated pricing that came from, like, if he was giving me a percentage of what he sold it for, we started going through the math of, like, okay, here are the different prices he wanted to experiment with, and here's how much it would come out for me. And he's like, oh, I don't want to keep track of how much I sold at each price. What if I just give you, you know, and I was like, well, we could do a flat fee on delivery type of thing. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, dun, dun. Lay your head down and dream, setting upstream. Okay. So first off, before we do anything else, just as a reminder, this is a viewer-supported stream. I'm down here in slot 9, putting the hot in the hot bar. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joehills and YouTube Super Chat. Howdy. It was a long weekend and a busy day today. I did not get as far on my editing as I would like. I got a lot of editing done, but did not get the episode wrapped up. But I also had a bunch of stuff I had to do with organizing my move, contacting my landlord to break my current lease, that sort of thing. Also reached out about the dishwasher that's been broken for 2 months now. It's like, well, I've got you on the phone about canceling my lease. You know, you guys are going to have to fix this for the new tenants. If you want to fix it for me before I go, wouldn't complain. Grumble, 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 grumble. I mean, I'm kind of complaining now, but... Wow, somebody's selling bricks. And also nether bricks. Guac, guac, guac. I don't know which foot pedal I use. I just, like, Impulse sent me a link and I ordered that one. I didn't write it down because they're not a sponsor. If they were a sponsor, I'd have it, like, in my notes for the show to, like, promote them, but they're not. Whatever it is, it's fine. But, like, maybe that's true of all of them. I don't know if this one's special. I did literally no research and can't recommend it otherwise. Sorry. Wait, was that always there? Oh, wait, no, that's the squid thing. Okay. Okay. Grumpy Bunny says, oh, you got a new place? Congrats. Well, no. We don't have a new place yet. What we have is a school assignment for my daughter for middle school that's across town. And so I canceled our lease because I know I'm not going to want to cross the river every day to get her to and from school. Hey, Vin Shokan, glad you could join us. So we are going to be moving somewhere closer to where she's going to be going to school next year, so that way I don't have to deal with Nashville traffic, because Nashville traffic is terrible. We'll also end up kind of closer to Quinn, which will be nice. You know, I always give Quinn half of the Thursday tips that roll in, because Quinn has to drive all the way across town. Maybe I can argue that down to 48, 47%, depending on how mean I'm feeling. No, I'm not that mean. We'll still do 50-50. But yeah, we'll be closer to Quinn, which is nice. Did I see the Etho setup photo? Yeah, I did. I saw a bunch of people being like, I can't understand why he would have a chair that doesn't go all the way under the desk. You guys know that most chairs compress downward about a ½ inch to an inch when you sit in them. That chair would totally go under the desk if somebody was sitting in it. Yeah, she got into the good academic... Well, there's like several good academic magnet schools, but she got into one of them, which is what's important. So, no, Etho posted a photo in his last video. Oh, gosh. Let me adjust because of my back. I'm trying to move around every so often. But, yeah. So, I put in my notice to my landlord for the move. I am the oldest sibling in my family. But yeah, it's been a busy day. So, part of what we need to do today... I already investigated all my shops. Everything's okay in general, but we've sold a lot of wool. It is fantastic news, Rex. I'm very glad, because this puts her on track. As long as she keeps her grades up, she's going to feed into one of the best academic magnet high schools. Like, this really settles or sorts out, like, the next 7 years of our lives in terms of, like, where her school trajectory is. Yeah, no, go enjoy the Etho episode. This is a chill stream. I always kind of see my streams as something like, hey, I want to have a cool place for people to hang out when they're just chilling, taking breaks from other stuff, that sort of thing. But, like, yeah, if you got something else more urgent to do, never feel bad about missing a stream. Go enjoy Etho's video. It's, we're going to be talking about it, so it makes sense to get caught up if you want. Like, we're mostly talking about the part where he showed his setup, but yeah. Okay, I feel like I came in here because I wanted to do something. What were we grabbing out of the storage stuff? Do we not have any... No, maybe we're not actually grabbing anything out of here. We were going to put some stuff away, but it's stuff in my offhand, so I keep looking for it in my inventory and not finding it. There it is. Okay. That's why. Cool. Okay, so emeralds can go in there. Let's hold on to these. We'll put those surplus. That can go in there. Okay. Will I post a photo of the foot pedal? At some point, yeah. It's hard for me to take pictures of stuff down there right now because I hurt my back recently and I have to be kind of careful about how I move. And also the floor is a mess. So basically, I would need to go clean up under the desk, which would involve a lot of bending over, which is one of the hardest things for me to do right now. So, yeah. Okay. Etho joined the game, even in Etho. Barbie's little sister, Kelly, says, hey, Joe, just got back from TPF yesterday. I'm so exhausted. I am so happy that you got to celebrate pinball with so many cool people. I wish I could have joined you there. It didn't line up with my custody schedule and dropping off and picking up my kid and stuff like that. Like, I was looking at it, it's like, well, I could go down there for Thursday, but I'm not a vendor, so I wouldn't have access to the vendor hall unless I paid, like, several $100s for that preview pass. And I could stick around for part of Friday, and then I'd have to fly out on... Or I could stick around for all day Friday, and then I'd have to fly out on Saturday. And I was just like, not gonna make sense. Arwis says, what's your opinion on Adobe Illustrator art? Well, I used Adobe Illustrator for many years, but I've actually switched over to Affinity because I didn't like what Adobe was doing with artificial intelligence. And it was like $60 a month. That was a lot of money. Yeah, I'm hoping that next year works out better, Kelly. That would be fantastic. Like, I really thought this year was going to be the year that I got to go to TPF, but I've got a bunch of other stuff going on because I'm also getting married this year and moving this year, and it's hard. Shining Ocean, that's not my problem. I stopped giving them money and canceled my account. Trio, no, I don't archive all my streams. That's a archival nightmare. You're confusing me with, like, a business that has resources. Oh, yeah, no, Kelly, I would love to play against you in this, in an upcoming tournament. Are there any big tournaments in your area throughout the year? Because my daughter and I like, she's started to get really competitive at pinball. I took her up to a women's tournament in Pittsburgh, but if there is a broader event that I could compete in as well, that would be fun. Ion Face says, how many gigs is one stream? 8 to 12. Sometimes more. This business does not make enough money for me to afford that many hard drives. Houston Arcade Expo is in November. And that's the other big one in Texas you usually go to. Okay. I will have to check that out because I met some cool people from the Houston scene. Like Aaron Winnick. And then I met Colin McAlpine. He was passing through Nashville a few weeks or months ago. I feel like it was about a month ago. Maybe 5-6 weeks, though. I don't know. But yeah, Colin McAlpine. But I think he's more in the Austin scene. But yeah, I saw him commentating on the TPF stream. And I was like, so many cool people. Okay. So we're going to grab all of this surplus string here. Beast Bomber says, one of my old math teachers is crazy at pinball and he goes to tournaments. You know, I'm sure you don't want to dox him, but I would say there's probably a 1 in 3 chance that if you posted his name, I'd go, oh, I met that guy in Wisconsin at District 82. Like, there's a lot of, that you've described a lot of people I've met. No, YouTube ads pay nothing. I don't have a Twitch contract. No, all of my revenue comes from viewer support. Like, and we're currently, the camera gets bigger when we hit our each $20 milestone. We are currently $20 away from our first milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joehills and YouTube Super Chat. How many people do I think I've met at tournaments over the years? I've probably played against hundreds of people at this point, but I mean, the thing is, though, like, a lot of the, I would say maybe a quarter to a half of them I actually had, like, real conversations with and would remember the names of. Like, because you play against, you're assigned to who you're playing against, you have to learn everybody's names so that you play against the right people, right? Like, if I'm, like, player 2 on Terminator, right? I'd be like, hi, I'm Joehills, I'm player 2 on Terminator. And that person would be like, you know, hi, I'm, let's say Josh Sharp, I'm player 3. You know, that sort of thing. I have not gotten to actually play against or meet Josh Sharp yet, but that's just an example. But hey, Jimmy Sue, thank you for the 5. That's going to get us now 15 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Camera's down here in slot 9. Hi, I'm waving. If you don't see it, but Josh is super nice. He seems nice. I've chatted with him on Discord some, in the Ray Day Discord, and the IFPA Discord. He seems remarkably competent. He deals with a lot of stuff. Aru says there are pinball tournaments. We don't have that around here. Well, Aru, I have good news for you. I don't know where you live, but you might just be ignorant. Let me pull up the IFPA calendar. You can search for your location and find where the nearest tournaments are. I'm posting this in all 3 chats. There's a location thing there that defaults to, you know, something. And then within 75 miles. Now, like, I mean, if you live somewhere like New Zealand, there might not be as many tournaments, but there are in many places in the world. Most of the English-speaking world has pinball tournaments. Barbie's little sister says, I met a New Zealander at TPF. Jimmy Kirk says, do they make you bring your own quarters? Well, a lot of the tournaments I play are at a bar called No Quarter. So they don't have quarters. They use tokens. But when you enter the tournament, they give you like a cup full of tokens. That's enough to play through the whole tournament and get some practice rounds in. Plus, every time you buy a drink, you get a few tokens too. Master Procrastinator says, apparently there's a tournament near me tonight. Well, hey, find out when the next one is and get over to that one. Yeah, I'm actually, you know what? People are like, I didn't even know this was a thing. Do you guys, how many pinball tournaments do you think I've been in? I can find out real quick, and it's going to be a lot. Does it actually have a number? No, it might not. It might not have an event count. Statistics? Total events. Yeah. I found my total event count. I have 1 event outside country. I did one event in Canada. But I've done 108 pinball tournaments. So Burnout Omega was the closest, I think, with 100. So, yeah. I've been playing pinball actively in tournaments since June of 2022. I played pinball like outside of tournaments and stuff before that, but that was when I started actually getting into the competitive scene. Yeah, there's a lot of streams of tournaments. I raid them all the time. But if you're going to go to a tournament in your area, like, they're always excited to have new people, because the more people that compete in the tournaments, the more that the more points the tournaments are worth. So if you just show up like half hour before the time posted on the website of your local tournament and say, hey, I'm new. I heard from somebody online that pinball tournaments are a thing. I would love to play. They'll get you set up. Because yeah, every tournament is more valuable in terms of rankings the more people there are competing. So nobody gets like annoyed when new people show up. Yeah, Quinn does pinball tournaments. My sister Catherine does pinball tournaments. Is it considered a sport? Some people might consider it one, but not everybody. But sportsmanship is important. If you're a jerk, like, you know how I said everybody introduces themselves, you have to learn each other's names? It's real easy for somebody who's a jerk to become known as a jerk because everybody knows their names. Yeah. So... Tanyan, yeah, I know people who compete in those Fort Collins events and Lion events in Colorado. I actually went to Colorado for the Dory Hill Pin Golf Challenge. Yeah, I have a lot of siblings, you guys. And some of them are canon, apparently. Burnout Omega says, I wonder if your daughter ever wanted to play pinball. Yeah, she actually made it to Women's State in Tennessee. Barbie's little sister, my chat is always about pinball, whether they like it or not. I'm just... The difference is this is somebody else talking to me about pinball, not just me lecturing. Relaxed Ash says, I know a lot of people consider pool a sport. Well, I mean, there's a lot of swimming in the Olympics, so that's not surprising. Have I tried competitive Tetris? I've been in a few Tetris tournaments at PlayOnCon, but I am not good enough to make it very far. The last Hoffer Bry says, but you never finished your pinball machine on stream last season, or in your videos last season. Okay. We're gonna switch the cameras around. Hold on, this camera is not at the proper angle. So we're switching to the full screen camera here for a second. Ugh. Okay. So we built a whitewood prototype of the table in Minecraft, but now I'm gonna stand up because I love standing. It's my favorite thing to get up and down right now. Oh my gosh. So for this week's craft stream, we're gonna start actually working on taking the deep field design from last season in Minecraft, and we're moving it into the physical world. I ordered this January 2nd, and it finally came in, like, Saturday. So, we're actually going to be continuing work on that prototype in the real world on my Wednesday craft streams. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to go put this down. It's kind of awkward and heavy, and my back hurts. Okay. Woo! Okay. So, we're going to be marking out what we need to cut out on that playfield. We're going to be starting to add components. We're going to be figuring out how we'd have to wire it. So, yeah, I know that we didn't finish the pinball machine last season in Minecraft. We just got it far enough along that we're moving it into the physical realm. Rixie, a pin golf tournament is actually in some ways easier for beginners because instead of competing on score, you're competing on objectives. Like, so let's say that a pinball machine might have an objective where it's like spell cheese by hitting like the CHEESE like letters around the table or something like that, right? Or spell chaos. Like sometimes pinball machines will have different switches with letters on them, right? And so in pin golf, instead of competing on score, like in a traditional pinball tournament, what they would do is they would set the game to 5 balls, and you would see how many balls it takes you to complete the goal. Like, okay, on Jurassic Park, you want to spell chaos, and so you hit the C shot, then you hit the H shot. If you do all 5 of those shots on ball 1, then you get 1 point for the hole. It's a hole in one. But let's say you hit the CHA, and then you drain. Then somebody else does their ball 1, another person does their ball 1, another person does their ball 1, comes back to you for ball 2. Then, okay, well, you got CHA, now you do the OS. You finish spelling chaos on ball 2, you would get 2 points. So pin golf is actually a good way to learn the rules of a bunch of tables you don't know, because they'll usually have like a printout taped to the back glass of the machine explaining how to achieve the objective for that one. So you don't have to know all the rules and all the strategy. You can just practice your flipper skills trying to hit those particular shots. Shining Ocean says, would you go on Imp and Skiz's podcast? I would love to. I have not hassled them about that, though, because I really want to get out to the Electric Bat Arcade in their area for a tournament. So I'm kind of waiting for my travel schedule to line up with their schedule. So I can basically be like, well, I'm going to go to this pinball tournament and then go record a podcast with them the same weekend, right? So, like, it would be very expensive and almost impossible for, like, some of the hermits to fly from, like, Australia to Imp and Skiz's house, right? But I've been meaning to get over to Arizona anyway, because I keep meeting cool people from the pinball community who are from out there, who are like, oh, dude, you got to come to one of our tournaments. So my goal is actually to try and do a recording with them and a visit to a tournament out there at the same time. So I'm not going to rush, like, trying to Skype into their podcast when I'd rather do it in studio thing. So, but that'd probably be after the wedding, because I'm really trying to minimize travel before the wedding to save money for the wedding itself and the honeymoon and all that. I want to cheer for Tango at a hockey game so bad. That's the other thing. I really want to go. Yeah, like, just that would be like a perfect weekend. Fly out to Phoenix, play in a pinball tournament, cheer for Tango at a hockey game with Imp and Skiz, right? You know, that would be kind of amazing. Skype still exists, you guys. I didn't make it up for this joke. Leo Potter, a few things. Leo Potter apparently has not watched my streams where I already fixed that redstone, because that redstone is my responsibility. The redstone under my shop as part of the contract is up to me to maintain and repair. Just because Doc stopped by while it was in mid-work doesn't mean it was irreparably broken. He's just jumping to conclusions. The shop wasn't stocked. But yeah, no, it's my responsibility to pay him half of his sand. He wanted to build his system in there, but that system is my responsibility to maintain. A hockey team is not going to let me just sub in with Tango. That would be fun. I love skating, but I have never played ice hockey. I've played street hockey with rollerblades. Okay. Thank you, Tiny Ham, for the kind words. Taraj, this is live. Or is it because we're talking about Skype, you assume this must have been recorded 25 years ago? You don't need to inform me. I'm already on top of these things. You're the one that's actually not caught up. This was dealt with a while ago. There's 3 chats going on, Taraj. Twitch, Discord, and YouTube. Some streamers like to only have one chat, but then then the chat moves too fast and the streamer becomes disconnected from the community becomes disconnected from each other. It's no fun. It's better to have 3 slower moving chats than 1 fast chat. Hey, Hey, we got a tip rolling in. Sorry, I had switched over to the IFPA website to copy and paste that. Also, Stephanie Hall, when you sent that question, it took me a little bit of time to realize you meant PayPal. I was just like, if somebody else posted that, I would have just timed them out. But I think that was just a unfortunate typo. uh, but yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, what is that? What? Okay, yeah, sorry. Yes, thank you, Stephanie Hall, for our first PayPal tip of the stream. Now that I know what you're talking about, I have tabbed back over. Thank you. Stephanie Hall 17 writes, revenue for Joe to get out of the hot bar. Grow Hills. Do. So here we go. Howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here, expanded as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. D to D to D. D to D to D. D. Yeah, no problem, Stephanie. I just took me a second. 27 Crackers 20 says, Joe, you have more patience than I do. That might be possible. It might also just be that I direct my patience differently than you. Like, it's a lot easier to come in here and be patient when that's my job, right? That's the sort of thing, like, I literally practice every day. It's not like, oh, this is my job, so it's my obligation. But it's more like, oh, it's my job, so it's my practice to be patient. Hey, got a message rolling in here. Let me see what this is real quick. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, 1 second. This is actually kind of important. Sorry. That's a terrible way to end that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, the stream is not really set up. We're actually supposed to be doing voiceover recording and ReplayMod right now, but we got derailed. Do we have a date for the wedding chosen yet? Nope, not yet. We are waiting on the immigration people to let us know when we actually can have the wedding. Ideally, we'll have the wedding as soon as possible, but we don't know when the as possible ... is there. That's the joy of dealing with the federal government. Okay. So I think these were named 1 diamond per stack. It'll drive people crazy if they don't all match. So it's fine if they don't all match. These are my anvils. I put these here so I don't mind if they break. I can just replace them myself. Okay. Hopefully it's daytime outside. Yay! We don't want to blow up Corrales' place. Ooh, it's not going to be daytime for long. Sun's getting real low. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, the K1 visa is long and arduous. Don't worry, we know some other people. Yeah, no, so the other, well, I say the other Joe. There's actually several Joes in the Nashville pinball scene, but British Joe did the K1 visa from England as well. So we've talked to him, or I've talked to him at length about it. Yeah, don't worry, I've got folks around here who I can vent to if I need. Thank you though for the offer. Okay. When does the stream start? When we're actually doing the stuff we're supposed to be doing instead of not the stuff we're supposed to be doing. We are not doing the stuff we're supposed to be doing right now. I don't use filtering glasses because I do color sensitive work and that's unhelpful. If you do color sensitive work with color filtering glasses, you're going to screw up. And I don't want to be a failure. Okay. So. Okay. Stephanie also says, my kid has mentioned your, or my kid has memorized your Dockish opening song and it is not driving me crazy. Yeah. Okay. So what we're actually supposed to be working on is we need to figure out what segment or what segments we need ReplayMod coverage for this next episode. So if I open up Final Cut Pro here, and we go over to here, do we not, hold on. Oh man, we're missing. Oh gosh. I am further behind on this than I thought I was. Well, you love to see it. Okay. So we go in here to this file. And let's see. So the bit where I'm talking, that's segment Foxtrot. So let's go find where that file is on this computer. So that was recorded the 10th of March at 11:20 a.m. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, so that's going to be in this segment here. Okay. What is... Okay. Apparently I have something... Oh, this is the Wither fight. So I recorded something before the Wither fight at 11:20 a.m. And so that would be further into this. So we need to save those. Okay, and then we're going to clear the keyframes. And we're going to go here, here. Okay, the recording that we need to do ReplayMod coverage for starts right about here. We're not crazy, knock on wood, just a little misunderstood. Da-da-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Woke the neighborhood again, and I found myself recalling everything she used to tell me. Oh yeah, alright, truth hurts, don't it, inside. Oh yeah, alright, go round once in life. Everybody wants to be a part. Everybody loves a situation. Who would ever want to play the part of anonymous numbers on a governmental chart? Who would ever want to be your friend? Got something you can give them. Okay, so we're gonna keep playing from here. So when I go look at the barrels, that's when we are going to bring this up and over to here. Okay, so let's see if this works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Howdy, y'all. Joehills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And today on the HermitCraft server, I am here at Vintage Beef's Enderman Shulker Farm. Howdy, y'all. Joehills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And as you can tell, I'm over here looking at all these shulkers and stuff. Whoa, come in. Take a look. It's in a book. It's a reading rainbow. No, wait. It's empty. It's empty. It's all empty. Why is this all empty? Every part of this should not be empty. Come on. What? Okay. I'm just kind of making this up as I go. Is there a Grammy for puppetry? No. So we're going to switch to the original audio at this point. The problem is that when I started recording this segment, I was like, before we go to the Wither fight, I wanted to swing by here. But the Wither fight we ended up putting in the last episode, and this got pushed. So I need to do a new intro over this. So let's go ahead and render that. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're going to call this one HC10-010 because it's production code 010. ReplayMod, real-time, flyby, shulkers, shop, A1, save. Okay, we turned off chroma keying. We don't have anything else fancy turned on. Okay. Have a good night, Mineral42. R-Wash says, how do you become interested in pinball without rage quitting every time the ball doesn't go where you want it to? Well, people were saying, as people were pointing out earlier, I wouldn't be able to play video games for a living if I couldn't be patient while playing video games. Are we still setting up the stream? Kind of. We're gonna see how this replay mod goes. Meeper says, so replay mod works kind of like 3D animating, but you're inside the animation? Kind of. We already animated this by playing Minecraft. It's just replay mod replays the network packets between the server and the client so that the client can re-render the game later. Okay, if we show the preview, it'll make the time left go up, but you can see that it generally looks about right there. Can I show the server list? No, I'm not connected to a server right now. Well, because you said please, I guess I could cancel this render when it only has 20 seconds left, connect to a server, and then see who's online. Okay. So we're going to exit the replay. And then we'll go connect to a server and see if anyone's online. Waiting for the replay. Do I always show my creative process at making videos? I don't know what you mean by always. Like sometimes I go have dinner. Or I go for a walk. Sometimes I feel like I need a vacation. Sometimes I feel like I wanna go to the city of cavemen, the city of bedrock. I'll be a Flintstone and I'll tell you why. Yabba dab, yabba dab, yabba dabba do now. Yabba dab, yabba dab, dabba 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 do now. Yabba dab, dabba dab, yabba dabba do now. I get by on all my prehistoric know-how. Well, I got a woman named Wilma. Well, I got a baby named Pebbles. Well, I got a doggy named Dino. We do a little bowling. We drink a little vino. Well, I got a little buddy Bonnie Rubble. Got a neighbor by the name of Bonnie Rubble. Does that help? I think I answered your question. Okay, yeah, sorry. We're going to connect to a server and see who's online. A server like the HermitCraft server was what I was explicitly told. So /TP, Joehills says 100, 100, oh wait, sorry, 0, 100, that's not how the... Okay, this server is a lot like the HermitCraft server. There's a lava pool at 0, 0. There's a little village over here. But it's not identical. There's some other problems. There's these guys. Crossbows. I'm in creative mode on this server. But yeah, anyway, I'm looking at the server list. It's just me. Yeah, that was a Bedrock Anthem by Weird Al. So yeah. Nope, nobody on this server that's like the HermitCraft server. Just checking. That is not the HermitCraft server. I was asked to find the list of who was playing on a server like the HermitCraft server. And I did exactly what I was asked. Okay, so let's go back here. So we got that bit. Now we need to get this segment with Scar. Recording. Actually, before we do that, let's check our replay. Browse. Okay. Let's check the replay we just made. Okay, that seems to have come in pretty okay. I don't like how much wide empty space there is out there. Might be the camera might be tilted a little high, but I wanted to have some of the castle in there. Yeah. That's enough time for me to get the howdy y'all, Joehills here. Do we clip the ender chest? That would be a problem if we did. No, we don't. Camera comes in tight, then backs out. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, that looks fine. Next problem. Okay, so this recording with Scar. Let's find that. So the segment with Scar is where? It's after the Wither fight. So that's segment India. That was at 2:08 p.m. and it's an 18-minute recording. 2:08 p.m. on the 10th. So same file. So that's about 2 hours into there. Okay, so we're going to save those as Shulker fly-in keyframes. Then we're going to clear those. Okay, then we're going to jump not a full 2 hours, but about 18 minutes, because we need a little bit before. We need to show Scar coming in, because I didn't start recording until after Scar was already, like, right on me. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, ReplayMod takes a while to close out a file. I probably wouldn't have done that if we hadn't had to go show people what the viewer list or player list looks like. Hey, Lagundo! Welcome, Raiders. My name is Joehills. I'm broadcasting live from Nashville, Tennessee. Today, we are currently doing some ReplayMod stuff behind the scenes, showcasing the creative process that goes into making a HermitCraft episode. So, wait, hold on. That can't be right. That's 2:08 p.m. Do we need to jump forward a whole hour here? Hold on. Because, yeah, we fought the Wither. So let's go to maybe 178, maybe is where Scar comes and talks to us. But yeah, we will not be skipping leg day here. I'm not going to get up and do any musculature work at the moment, but yeah. Let's see how this is going. Yeah, we're currently doing some behind-the-scenes ReplayMod renders to get transitions between the scenes in HermitCraft. Sometimes in HermitCraft, somebody will come up to me and start talking, and I haven't hit record yet. And so we need to, like, render in them coming to bother us. Okay, so at this point, Scar is online. So I think what happens is I go through my portal to the Nether, then I go to the shopping district, and then Scar bothers me. I wish I was better at portals. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so we go through the portal. Oh, he's right there. Yeah, that's it. He's right there when we come out of the portal. Okay. So, let's go ahead and have this framed. How do we want to... Do we want to frame it through... I think having it framed through the portal looks cool. But, like, is there anything... Like, having it at a cool angle... We're going to do a fixed camera for this shot, I think. And we're going to back that up to at least 20 seconds earlier. So that was 8 after, so we're going to go 180/40 here. And then we're going to slow this down. We only really need the first bit of this before I lead Scar over there. This is not going to be a long render. So I start leading him that way. And then we're going to switch to me. And we showed his horse wandering off. Okay, great. Okay, that's enough footage. Just for this little transition, I'm getting a little bit more than I need on both sides of that. So we're going to use a similar file name, except... So it's a ReplayMod file. It's in real time, but instead of flyby, it's fixed. And this is going to be called Scar, because we talked Scar, A1. We want the name tags. We don't want chroma keying. We are ready to render. Rika says, I've never actually watched ReplayMod work. It's cool. Yeah, so for anybody who's joining us from the raid, the way ReplayMod works, if you know anything about network data, woo, here we're getting into fun. So basically, ReplayMod acts as a packet capture piece of software. It grabs all the data that goes from your computer to the server and back from the server to your computer and just writes it to a file. And then it can replay that network data to recreate all of the activity that happened in a radius around your player character in Minecraft. Right? And so basically, it at that point, you can then re-render whatever scene you experienced in Minecraft from any angle. How big is the radius? It depends on what the server's radius is set to. I don't know what it's set to on HermitCraft right now. It might be 12. So. Yeah, so basically, Scar was waiting for me when I came out of the portal because he was stream sniping me. So he knew that I was coming out of that portal. I didn't know he was going to be there, so I didn't start recording until after he said hi to me. And so what I need to show me coming out of the portal and then seeing him and then saying, hi, Scar. Hey, Lost Cult Music, thank you for tipping 3. That is going to get us now 12 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. Appreciate it. Okay, so it looks like for that first bit... So that was the bit before the portal. Okay. Yeah, so this is, so there's Scar, there's the horse. So then you're seeing, okay. Boom, 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 boom. It's teleporting me over to there based on my previous coordinates. So I'm realizing this angle might not be perfect for that bit there. Yeah, you can create keyframes and have the camera move. I'm using a simple fixed camera for this part here, but that's... So the preview actually makes it run a lot slower, but yeah, here's the other thing. So people are saying, like, well, what about using this with BobbyMod? That's the other thing, is so when you play Minecraft, you sometimes don't want your render distance set as high as possible because you can't render the frames at 60 frames a second. With ReplayMod, you don't care if it takes 60 seconds to render one frame if that frame is gorgeous and you're putting it in your video for later. So I can turn the render distance way higher up in ReplayMod renders than I have it for active gameplay. Okay, so we're gonna see, let me load this file into OBS for a quick review. And we're gonna set that full screen, and let's see how this looks. So yeah, I had the timer on that isn't, or when I rolled it back, I actually had it rolled back too far. So the first few seconds are those same coordinates in the nether because my player character was in the nether. Okay, so this is where we'll bring it in. We'll have a fade here, and then I come down the stairs, and I'll say, howdy, Scar, blah, blah, blah. And then Scar will be at the beginning of the... I don't have the first thing Scar said to me, but I have the first thing I said to Scar. So then we gotta make it work. Yeah. And so, yeah, BobbyMod, you can do some cool stuff. Okay. So let's say... So like if I wanted to, I could have the camera, I could put a keyframe for the camera up here and then have it follow a path that it's now drawn from up there to down there, right? No, ReplayMod isn't screen recording, it's network recording. And then you use it to render the same scene from any angle you want, right? But like if I wanted to, I could have the entire scene, like we could do the entire thing also from this angle of somebody inside of False's shop here. I'm not sure exactly where Scar was at the very beginning. I don't want that post to be blocking him, but let's... Okay. So we're going to save that as Scar fly in, and then we're going to reset those... Okay. So let's actually have this pan this way. And then options, video settings. What is my rendering set to? 60. Let's jack that up. Like I said, we can go further. We didn't need it for that other angle, but like 155. So in theory, that'll load in like Smallish Beans' stuff back there and Impulse's stuff. All right. There's Gem's Lighthouse. Okay. So basically we will, so this will kind of pan this way as the conversation goes on. And So let's actually move the, we're going to move the time code further. And we're going to actually come back to there and pan this further that way. Yeah, that's probably enough. Okay. So we can see a rough version of this in game, but it's not as good as the render. Okay. Just as a reminder, if you're learning something from this stream or having fun, tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joehills and YouTube Super Chat. We are currently, looks like 12 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. See, when I say, like, the reason to restart ReplayMod files all the time, it's because we're 3 hours into this ReplayMod file, so it has to replay all the network data before it gets to the bit that we were at. Which is why at some points, it's like trying to use the in-game renderer is... Okay. So the first few seconds are in the wrong dimension because I'm traveling in the nether, and the game doesn't have any data about the overworld. Yep, I can see the world border from here. You're right, Hypno. It's back there behind Scar. Okay. Now, because this is the in-game render, the other stuff isn't popping in as quickly as you want it to. But in the final render, it probably would. Okay, I think we actually want to move... that a little bit slower there. Okay, so we're going to start that there. We're going to have it hold for a few beats. Okay, fix. So this is an alternate angle from the booth there. I'm going to render that as a separate file. And hey, we got a tip rolling in from Alberto. Thank you, Alberto, for the 16. We were 12 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Now we are 4 past. So here we go. Please direct your attention to the lower left because it's time to expand. Joe. I don't use Premiere Pro. I use Final Cut Pro. Why do we have a world border? So we can remove it. James says it'd be handy to be able to save state at a keyframe. Yeah, you would think that, right? But the best way to do it is just to create a new replay file from scratch. Disconnect and reconnect to the server. Nola says, I was wondering if there'd be a poetry prompt on the next episode. No, I don't think so. We're all caught up on those. We had the first month, so the first month of HermitCraft 10, I had to do double the mid-roll ad free stuff because there was a month hiatus. So I had to catch up on everybody we'd missed in January. But yeah, so if you disconnect and reconnect to the server, there's less stuff to replay at the beginning of the file. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. McLeslie's13 says, really like seeing this end of the production, Joe. Never doing anything like this myself. Yeah, it's fun. It's so fun to chill behind the streams, behind the scenes. See, that's the thing is, like, when I'm, like, this deep in editing, too, sometimes I need a break from just focusing on getting the thing out the door to, like, hang out with you guys. So this way, it's kind of a good compromise, because, like, I'm still making some progress, I'm getting some feedback on stuff, but yeah. Because sometimes I was like, there's definitely some streams that I don't do when I'm really behind on editing. Like, at this point, I have basically at least 2 episodes worth of footage I need to get out the door. And I say that might be closer to 3. So there's not going to be a stream tomorrow morning. I normally do my V Rising streams with my fiance Badger Spanner, but I've already talked to Badger. We're not doing that tomorrow, so I can get caught up. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so let's go ahead and change the file in OBS over to the new one. And we'll see how this looks. I don't know why it's artificially cropped at the top. There we go, I fixed it. That was not supposed to be the case. Okay, so there's portal, Scar. So me coming through the portal. So we're going to cut from the through the portal view. Once we start, so we're not going to actually, it's fine. You can see Jem's lighthouse back there. A little bit of me and Scar's conversation before we switch back to first person mode. Okay, yeah. Cool. Just little transitions like that make the episode feel more coherent and cohesive. Okay. So, what else? Does it have an option to automatically start and stop recording so it's easier to manage? Not reliably. The best way to do it is to record your entire session connecting to the, okay, so this next file, though, this Jevin interaction, is segment Oscar. Okay, so we're going to save that as booth pan, because we pan the camera over in the booth. We're going to exit that replay, and then we're going to find segment Oscar where we recorded with Jevin. Wait, no, that can't be right. Hold on. No, it's segment Juliet. Okay. So that was also on the 10th of March, but at 8:41 p.m. So a separate file because it was a different session. Yeah, because ReplayMod works best when it So if you didn't capture all of the network data for the entire session, stuff gets glitched out. It's just better to do the whole thing. And then put the keyframes in it where you need them. So, like, this file that we're closing out now, the reason it's taking so long to close is this is a 3-hour and 30-minute file. Because we had a long stream. Mastodon says there's a ReplayMod buffer people use. I try not to modify my ReplayMod or put stuff on top of it too much because it's more important to me that ReplayMod works consistently than that it works easily. I'd rather route around some inconveniences than have to route around damage. Hey, thank you very much to Leslie for tipping 6. That gets us now 10 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Thank you, Leslie. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joehills and YouTube Super Chat. So we're going to go back in here. We're going to find the next file from the 10th that evening. Okay. And... no, wait. This one says... okay, 8:41 p.m. So that's going to be about 10 minutes into the segment. Ion Face says, you look so much younger shaved. Does your fiance like it better? I mean, that's not really my fiance's concern. That's the concern of all the people who supported Gamers Outreach and helped us hit our milestone for me to shave. You know? I was really excited to go visit that hospital and see those carts and stuff. And y'all made that possible, and I need to respect and appreciate that. So... let's see. I think when Jev flies in, he flies in from over there. He's out of range right now. So let's just... okay, so this is 10 minutes in. Okay. So Jev is about to fly in any second. So we're going to speed this up, though, to make it easier. Is he in the range yet? No. No sense having the replay start with a bunch of stuff before Jev gets here. Because unlike the other thing with the portal, I have the recording. I started this recording in advance, but I was doing some weird puppet stuff, and I don't want to have the bobbing head in there. Okay. So he says he's on his way there. Okay, trying to get an idea of where we want to put if we're going to have a fixed camera, where we roughly want it. Okay. Okay, he's still not here. Oh, that's right. My file is going to start way earlier than when Jev actually shows up, because I actually was ahead on this one. So if I go in the file here to see when Jev shows up, he shows up at the... 5-minute mark or so. Removing mountains while I... a little bit earlier than that. Okay. No to come visit me to... okay, so 5 minutes into this... yeah, so I jumped forward 11 minutes, but I need to jump forward 16 minutes. That's actually about where we're at. So Jeff should be heading over shortly. Nailed it. Okay, cool. So there he is. So let's see if our camera is in a good place here or if I need to move this back out. Oh yeah, that's right. When he kills me, that resets the camera for the replay. Not in the final version, but okay. So we need to be over here earlier. I'll tell you that. Okay. So we're going to slide this back here. Oh, whoops, I need that. Yeah, we need this different time scale. Blurp. Okay. Okay, so how am I moving? I'm staying within a certain radius here. See, this is the part that you really want to get the camera in there to see the tongue when I'm doing that. Okay. Of course, I immediately duck and then you can't see it anymore. This is when he flies off. Yep. Actually, you know what I probably should have done is I probably should have overshot. Let's remove that last one and let's set this one here so we can see Jevin soaring away in the distance. Okay, now he's gone. Gonna give that a little bit more of an arc here. Yeah, maybe we're gonna have to move that other one up. But okay. So we have something that roughly works now. Okay. So there's me. Hi. Already, though, the camera is too far up. And focus the wrong way. So we're going to come back to that first one. We're going to move that to there. Okay, there's Jevin flying in. So that means that this needs to be further back here. We want to have that slightly more angled that way by this point here. Okay. See, the camera is getting ahead of itself here, so we need to make sure that it's actually pointing more at us right there. We're going to pause it, then resume. And then we'll make sure that as I start to sweep that way, now the camera's going to be more back here. Yep, this is the replay mod. I'm basically setting up keyframes and it's replaying the network data. Hey, we got a tip rolling in from Selena Bina. I don't know why I've always put extra syllables in your name, Selena Bina. Thank you very much. That puts us 5 away from the next Space Gamer expansion milestone. Appreciate you. Welcome, Elazir Frazier, in the YouTube chat as well. Okay. So then we've got this bit rolling in here. This all looks fine. We got a nice slow pan. We're going to be switching back and forth between this angle and the first person angle. So I can show my inventory and stuff. Things. Okay, so the camera's going to start tightening in here because Jev is going to start wanting to look at my mouth. And we're going to kind of come back out a little bit. A little bit of a tight pivot there, but some of that I can do in first person to kind of cover that. I'm out of frame there, but I'll be in first person for that bit, so it doesn't matter. In some ways, the parts where I'm out of frame, it's either a mistake or it's a cue that I'm supposed to switch to first person view because I'm covering camera motion that I couldn't coordinate. Yeah, just 2 blue guys being blue. Nothing weird about it. Yeah, okay, that'll work. So this one is a flyby, so it's FB, and this is Jev Elytra. A1, render. Okay. Pum-ba-dun-dun-dun. This one's a slightly longer segment than the other 2. It turns out it is easy being blue. Have a good night, Trio Salad. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Excuse me. Okay. Yep, so at this point, this last render is going to take a while to do, and we usually wrap up the show. A lot of people are saying they're going to bed anyway. Yeah, at this point, we usually wrap up the show on the half hour, so let's go ahead and do last call for tips. Just as a reminder, tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joehills and YouTube Super Chat. Appreciate you. If you have not caught it, I wanted to post a few other links. I need to get I haven't put this in my notes file yet, but I've got a playlist of the new Moby Dick streams. Here we go. Let me find the shareable link for that. Playlist details, get shareable link, copy. So this is Moby Dick week 1, Moby Dick playlist. So if you want to get caught up before week 2 on Saturday, we're going to be reading Moby Dick every Saturday night, a chapter or 2 at a time while we do terraforming and other kind of slower Minecraft work. The sort of stuff that you usually have to do, but a lot of hermits would be like, yeah, I gotta grind, I'm just gonna put a book on tape on. Well, I prefer to do those grinds while reading, and I realized I could read out loud to you guys while I do it. So since Moby Dick is in the public domain, we did this with Dracula in Season 9. We're going to be reading Moby Dick in Season 10. You know, Grian had his White Whale of the Mending Book. Jem is doing her nautical theme this year, too. It's like, well, what am I good at? I can read a book about the sea, I suppose. I've heard of one before. So, yep. Dun 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 dun. Hey, Yazzie Wolf, glad you enjoyed the stream. Thank you. Yeah, we are just winding down. We got 5 minutes left so that any tips that roll in can come in. Yeah, other stuff I wanted to post. Okay, so now we're into like, okay, now that we've finished the big thing, it's like I wanted to send I wanted to show y'all some other cool stuff. So Evan Dom did an illustrated Moby Dick, and if you go to this Tumblr page, you can see how he made his illustration for the chapter Loomings that we read last weekend. And he's got similar illustrations for every chapter or 2, which fortunately works out well because we're reading, a chapter or 2 at a time. So, yeah, let me see here. But yeah, he was working on this back in 2015. But yeah, he's also got, so the next chapter is about the Spouter Inn. Or it's called the Spouter Inn. And there's a chapter 3 illustration that he did for that on Tumblr too. So, very cool stuff. But yeah. But yeah, Evan Dom put a lot of thought into his designs. Hello to Shanghai there, Gizmosis. Glad you could join us. Oh yeah, I forgot to post this in the Discord. Sorry, Discord. Yeah, so the initial 32 minutes was, I think, partially because it was trying to load all the data into memory for all the chunks in the distance. And once it had that loaded into... It was the initial... Rendering the first few frames required loading all of the BobbyMod data in. And once the Bobby mod data was in, it was good. I was not expecting it to go this fast. I knew usually it's a little high at the beginning, but usually it doesn't drop off this crazily. But like I said, we normally do a 2-hour stream on school nights, and it's a school night. I gotta get my kid to school in the morning. I gotta get to bed. Oh boy. Dun 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 dun. Boom 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 boom. Have a good night, Annabelkins. Let's see. Anything else going on? Stream schedule, just as a reminder, you can always find my stream schedule at joehills.net/soon. My guest for Friday had to reschedule. I'm going to have guitarist Casey Reed in the studio the next Monday, not this Friday. But that's on the schedule now. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Soon. I have no idea what that means, Maximum. Those words don't make sense in there. What amount of dedicated RAM? Oh, Tana, that is a really good guess. What amount of dedicated RAM do I have? I think I allocated 28 gigs to Minecraft for ReplayMod purposes. And so with Bobby Mod, you really like Bobby Mod. You want to give it as much RAM as you can. Let me check my instance. Hopefully this won't crash the game. Settings version. I don't think I can view that while the instance is launched. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Okay, well, thank you everybody for hanging out. We are now at the half hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and send people on their way. It looks like Wormhole Pinball is streaming a tournament of some sort from Houston. No, did they just stop? They just ended their stream. They literally stopped, like, in the last minute. Okay, no new problem. Rain City Free Play is playing Simpsons Pinball Party up there in Rain City. So we're going to /raid Rain City Pinball Party. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Our raid message is howdy, y'all. Joe Hills raid here. Alrighty. Keep adventuring. Oh, yeah, I need to click raid now. There's so many steps and everything.